What's going on, mother truckers? Alright, doing another video here. Check this shit out. This is funny stuff. Boom! Sniped that bitch right before he could get in the motherfucking ghost. And, yeah, so we're driving along here. And, yeah, check this shit out. This is fucking badass drive-by shit right here, dude. Yeah, just so you know, these guys are terrible, and we're kicking the crap out of them, so we're just sort of doing some really stupid, risky, crazy shit. Like, this is a dumbass idea, what me and my brother are doing here. All they gotta do is use invis and throw a nice sticky on us, and we're fucked. Which honestly happens later, but I didn't record that part because I don't want to show myself getting raped. So, whatever. Right now, though, this is what happens. Shoot that guy twice, he's down, and then that dude way over there. Boom! Nailed his ass. Yeah. Back the fuck up real quick. Damn. That was a pretty sick shot. Honestly, when you're a passenger in the Warthog with a sniper rifle, auto aim with the sniper rifle when you're aiming it from a passenger perspective, it's a little more sensitive than if you were just walking on the ground. So the auto aim is definitely better, but only at like a certain range, kind of like basically up to this distance. So since this guy was kind of right there, it was a pretty sick shot. Any way you look at it, so pretty badass. Oh shit. God damn. Ooh. Nasty. Back up a little. Ooh, shit. Yeah, that's a kill shot. That's fucked up.
Double kill.
Not bad at all. Anyway, I just wanted to show that real quick, and there's also some other stuff I wanted to talk about. What the fuck was I going to talk about in this video? Oh yeah, I watched the first couple episodes of that new Netflix Marvel show, Iron Fist, with that gay dude from Game of Thrones, who blew up in the green goo. Yeah, anyway, he's the main character of this show, and some of the critics said that the show kind of sucked, and they're complaining that, see, it's kind of like a kung fu superhero type movie, right? There's like martial arts crapola going on. Some Asian themes, martial arts kind of shit going on. And apparently the critics are hating on the show because the main character isn't an Asian guy. It's a white dude. And that's kind of like stereotypical and racist when you think about it. Also, in the comic, apparently, he's not an Asian dude. He is a white guy. So they're following the comic. What the fuck do you want? So, if you ask me, these people are fucking retards. Anyway, I watched the first few episodes. He shows up in the middle of the city, and he's like some fucking magical ninja hobo or some shit. It's fucking crazy. So, I'm digging it so far. You know, of course, I don't think it's the greatest show ever, but, you know, it's not fucking trash like a lot of these morons are saying. I'll watch it more, and maybe they'll have a better point as to why they feel that way, but come on. Arguing that it should be an Asian guy when it's not supposed to be an Asian guy is fucking stupid. So, just wanted to say that real quick, and, okay, and, yeah, the main reason I wanted to do this video was, because, fuck, what was it? Oh, yeah, the new Zelda game apparently got a, kind of a crappy review from, this guy named Jim Sterling. He's this like, I think if I read correctly, I can't remember, he's like a British dude who was physically abused by his dad, and he came to America. He lives in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, one of the most racist fucking shitholes in America. And apparently he's like a really nice guy, really cool dude. Like he's He's kind of a far left kind of dude, which is cool, whatever. Anything's better than a dumbass Nazi, right? So, I mean, I don't agree with everything the left is all about. Some of them are fucking corrupt or whatnot. Anyway, this ain't about politics, whatever. My point is that's his backstory, basically. And so he does video game reviews, and he did some reviews, and he did, what am I talking about? Goddamn, I got a headache and it's fucking late. Okay, right. He did a review for Breath of the Wild, and he gave it a 7 out of 10. And according to his rating system, a 7 is a good rating. In my book, 7 is kind of dog shit. Because the way I rate games is, a 7 is like, it's kind of like, the way I rate games, it's kind of like if you go to school. Like, if you get a 70, that's a fucking D. You barely fucking passed. And anything below that is a F, a fucking failure, So, here's the thing. Breath of the Wild is a great game. It's a really great game, They obviously put a lot of work into it, and it's a finished fucking game, you know what I mean? Yeah, it has problems, sure, but they're very minuscule, and every game has problems, so whatever. Like, for example, I just finished Metroid Prime for the first time in my life. God, I'm such a fucking idiot for never playing that game before. But, yeah, I played it for the first time, and I recently beat it. It took me forever, because I didn't use a guide, so it was taking me forever to find those fucking artifacts or whatever. But I found them eventually. I beat the game, and I played on veteran mode, and now I unlocked the hyper mode. And that game is so awesome. I feel like playing it again already, so I probably will. But that game was fucking awesome. But there were some things I didn't like about it, like the elevator. The elevators, you can't skip that shit. So when you go in an elevator, they show that scene where Samus is just looking around all like, oh shit, there better not be aliens in this motherfucker, Like, you see that scene with her every time she goes in an elevator, like, and you have to deal with that like 50 or 100 times throughout your game experience. So it would have been nice to be able to skip that. But anyway, I'm just saying, no game is perfect, right? Which, now back to Jim Sterling here. Here's the thing with that dude. A lot of people are getting really pissed off at him, and they're like spamming his website and calling him a hack and all this shit. And I think that's taking things a little too far. I mean, yeah, you can disagree with him, or even go so far as to think that he's kind of crazy. I think he's kind of crazy. These reviews that he makes, they don't add up to me. This is not logical. Okay, I'll just go through it here. I'm looking at a lot of reviews that he's given games because I'm curious about what this guy's all about, because it really feels like he gave Breath of the Wild a 7. In his book, it's a good score, but in my book, I think that's trash, especially for a game like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is definitely like a 9. Maybe if you're a nitpicky, whiny bitch who likes to bitch and complain and is really always looking for the worst things about a game, maybe a high 8. But 7, shit. Destiny is like a 7, dude, Like, come on, it can't be that bad. So here's the thing, though. I wanted to get a better idea of who the guy is, how he rates his games, what he actually thinks about when critiquing games. And here's the thing. He gave that, what's it called? What is that game called? Horizon? Yeah, he gave that a 9.5 out of 10 instead of anything close to a 7 like he did with Breath of the Wild. Now, that's quite a jump in points. You know what I mean? That's like a huge difference. Even though the games are very similar, they're both good games. So why is there such a big difference there, A lot of people think it's some social justice warrior crap, like you get to play as a woman in Horizon, so he catered to that more because he's kind of a leftist or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't give a shit about that stuff, but just the difference in the score is just kind of ridiculous since there's such similar types of games. I don't understand that. And even in the review he did for Horizon, he talked about how the game doesn't really do anything new that we haven't really seen already in video games. And so it's just kind of like, then why'd you give it such a high score? it's kind of silly. But I'm not done, okay? Hear me out. Like Breath of the Wild, that art direction that they went with for the game, that's really never been done. That's like cell shading on crack, you know what I mean? So, like, it's just kind of silly that he bashes the graphics of the game in a certain way. Well, he didn't really do that. I don't know. I need to reread his review, but he basically docked the game seriously for its frame rate problems, and I think that's a little cheap considering. Anyway, let's move on here. He gave For Honor a 7 out of 10. Like, really? For Honor? That shitty fucking game? It doesn't even work online good, and it's just another piece of crap from Ubisoft? Are you serious? That Neo game, that new one that came out for PlayStation, he gave it a perfect score, which is fucking bullshit. No game deserves a perfect score. Dead Rising 4, he gave it an 8 out of 10. So that game's better than than Breath of the Wild? Are you fucking kidding me? Titanfall 2, he gave it a 9.5. Like, really? Microtransaction trash from a game nobody fucking wanted? From a company that everybody hates? EA? Really? Like, those fucking hacks, Respawn Gaming, those ex-Call of Duty creators? Are you fucking kidding me that this game's way better than fucking Breath of the Wild? What the fuck? Battlefield 1, he gave it a 9. What the fuck? Deus Ex Mankind Divided, or as I like to call it, Do Us Butt Sex Butthole Divided. Like, that he gave that a 9. It's a single-player microtransaction game. Are you fucking kidding me? That game Inside, that like indie game, he gave it a perfect fucking score. Also ridiculous. Overwatch, an online multiplayer-only game with no content that's basically fucking cartoon porn. He gave that a 9. Are you kidding me? Bloodborne, he gave that a perfect score. Also ridiculous. Like, I can understand giving it a high score, but perfect scores are fucking retarded, okay? No game is perfect. Quantum Break, he gave that an 8.5. Really? That's a lot better than Zelda? It's fucking stupid. Well, maybe in his eyes it's not a lot better, but he still rated it higher, so it's just kind of confusing, you know? And Uncharted 4, he gave that an 8.5. So Quantum Break and Uncharted 4, in his eyes, are just as good as one another. It seems fucking stupid, you know? Twilight Princess remake, he gave that an 8.8. Star Wars Battlefront, he gave that shit a 7. Like, Star Wars Battlefront by EA? Really? Like, that's the same fucking score? Are you kidding me? Jesus. So Star Wars Battlefront from EA, that fucked up microtransaction season pass horseshit. That game was clearly made just to make fucking money off people. But that's just as good as Breath of the Wild? That's ridiculous. Lara Croft 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, he gave that an 8.5, and that's a microtransaction single-player game. What the fuck? Triforce Heroes, he gave that an 8. So apparently that goofy little game is better than a big-name Zelda game, apparently, according to this guy. Undertale, he gave that a perfect fucking score. Dishonored, Definitive Edition, he gave that a 7.5, better score than Breath of the Wild. Until Dawn, it's like a movie horror game. You don't even really play, you just sort of watch shit. He gave that a 9.5. Are you fucking kidding me? Majora's Mask, he gave that a 9.5. I guess that's fair. But it's just weird. He gives all these other Zelda games higher scores than Breath of the Wild, you know? And what was it? That Zelda game that plays like a Dynasty Warriors game, he gave that a higher score than Breath of the Wild. And apparently, Watch Dogs 2 and GTA 5, he scored them both 9s. It's just fucking silly, you know? Like, I don't think you can really take this reviewer very seriously, alright? So I don't know why people are freaking out. He's clearly kind of kooky, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So don't take it so personally, Nintendo and Zelda fans. This guy's kind of a joke, just saying. Not the greatest reviewer out there, clearly. Alright, that's the end of this. See ya.